Look how nice and bright it is out. It rained, then it stopped raining, the sun came out. I need the light, but it's a little too bright. Okay, it's going down. It's softening up a little bit. What's up, y'all? Sean, we back. Let's talk about Potomac. We're going to get right into it. We skipped a couple episodes, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about Deborah's nutty ass. Mia and Jacqueline, their love triangle. What the hell they got going on? Karen got her comedy Grand Dame and Friends show coming out. She's actually going to be coming closer to where I live in the next week or two. So I would like to go see her, Karen's show. What else happened in this episode? I didn't even take any notes. I really just want to focus on the women attacking Candace and Wendy's marriage. I don't get it. And then Ashley talking about, I just feel like I need to tell her just in case it comes back. Who is it going to come back to? How is it going to get back to her if y'all don't shut the hell up about it and stop making it more than what it is? Ashley, how is this information going to get back to Candace if y'all just shut the hell up about it? Because there's nothing happened. Nothing has happened that y'all like. And Deborah with her strong eyebrow ass talking about, Chris did one of these. So he's flirting with his elbow. Like, what is that? Now, you notice Deborah didn't even have any words to describe what it was that Chris did. It was like, he one of these. Like, he did one of these. Y'all are all married women. Like, and the fact that y'all can't sit here and give this man the benefit of the doubt when he did absolutely nothing. Deborah can't say, oh, he pushed up on me. He offered, for us to go hang out later, or, he added me on social media and just started liking all my pictures, like anything. Like, you guys are drawing and coming to conclusions with nothing. And then to look from the looks of it, when production rolled the footage back, Deborah, you the one initiating conversation and flirting with him. So if you guys felt that uncomfortable and didn't remove yourself, like, I'm trying to say, like, the whole entire time, be like, hey, how you doing? Chris, that man is on his cell phone. Chris looked like, somebody said online, Chris looked like he didn't even damn near want to be there, let alone want to flirt and talk with y'all. And there's cameras there. You really think this man is flirting with you? And this is what, his 6th, 7th season on the show? I think 6. Candace came on season 2, I think, or season 3. This is his 6th season on the show. You don't think he knows how this works? Like, come on. So Karen is planning her Karen and Friends or whatever, so it finally kicks off. So you got the girls going to that. Giselle, Robin, and Mia, they all go to lunch or get salads or something like that. They all went and got salad and some healthy stuff. And they're asking Mia, like, so Karen told us that you and Jacqueline, fooled around a little bit. And Mia's just like, oh my God, I can't tell Karen anything. She runs her mouth. And no, Mia, you said it on camera. Karen's not running her mouth, Mia. You're saying it on camera. That you and Jacqueline have this weird, touchy-feely, friends with benefits type of relationship. G is buying Jacqueline cars. I'm going to hop around a little bit because I didn't take any notes and I just kind of want to just talk. So the girls are just trying to, Robin and Giselle, they're tag team. And so, wait, what? And you said this, and how that doesn't make any sense. So you looked at her vagina, but y'all never had sex. Y'all never did this. And they're like, no. Mia's people, I hear people saying, I love how honest Mia is. Mia's not honest. Mia's a liar. Mia is a liar. You ask her what color is the sky, and she'll say it's red. Mia is a liar. Mia is a liar. Ask Mia what show she's on. I bet you she say she on goddamn Chopped on the Food Network. Mia is a liar. Like, Mia is a liar. Mia does not tell the truth at all. So you got Gizelle and Robin kind of grilling her, like, asking her questions and different things like that, like trying to get to the bottom of everything. And Mia's just more so focusing on the fact that Karen ran her mouth. Karen didn't run her mouth. She was asking you questions because Giselle ran her mouth. Karen was just inquiring about what Giselle ran her mouth about. Karen didn't even know that you and Jacqueline were taking showers together. Like, so why are you mad at Karen, Mia? You should be mad at Robin and Giselle. Like, I just wish somebody would just put Robin and Giselle in their place. Like, y'all bitches is nosy. Like, why you keep asking all these questions? Now, y'all bitches is nosy. Then y'all questioning why Jacqueline got a Porsche. Giselle, weren't you driving in a damn Gucci Fiat or what was them ugly ass buggy cars? You were driving in a Gucci Fiat when the show first started. You were broke, renting a house. Nothing wrong with renting, but I mean, you coming on the Housewives. We don't tune in for that. That's nothing to aspire to be like. Giselle, you were very basic, still very basic. Your house looks like Alice in Wonderland mixed with a thrift store. Like you got the ceramic cake potteries and the butter, the white ceramic butter dishes and the fake pastry food dishes and the white ugly pottery. It's just ugly. Her house is a mess with the glittery rhinestone checkerboard pinks and purples. It looks like Alice in Wonderland tacky. That's what it looks like to me. And so you got Mia telling Robin and Giselle basically like, look, nothing has happened between me and Jacqueline. We're just friends, but we have, seen each other's private parts. We shower every now and then together, but it's nothing serious. Then they get on to the fact that like, oh, Mia, are you in an open relationship? Because we also heard that you had something going on with Peter. And Mia's like, well, why y'all asking about that? Because, what's that got to do with anything? And Giselle's like, what do you mean what it has to do with anything? That was the whole reason you and Wendy got into the fight in Miami. Like Peter was the main cause. That was the topic of the argument. What do you mean? And she's like, well, I did have sex with Peter's girlfriend. And they're like, what? So what Wendy was saying the entire time was true, but you got on Wendy for lying. Wendy said, you and your husband F other people, which is true. You admitted to it. So what were you so going, like Wendy said nothing disrespectful about G, Mia's husband, being his fan. She said what was true. She said, are you going so hard and fighting Peter's battles because you effing him? Y'all having sex with each other? Like what's going on? And I think Wendy got that information from Peter himself. So, or like, come on. So you snapping on Wendy when the whole entire time she was telling the truth. So what is it? And then later on in the episode, you're going to tell. I think Mia was telling Karen to own her shit. Mia, take your own advice, baby. Take your own advice, own your shit too, because if you did, you and Wendy wouldn't have been fighting, or you wouldn't have been trying to attack Wendy. Wendy said nothing. Don't disrespect my husband and my marriage. Wendy didn't say anything about your marriage. All she said was, are you attacking me and trying to fight me because I'm calling out the fact that you and Peter probably messed around with each other? Like, are you getting on me because of that? And you see how the truth comes out. It's been about a month and a half, but you see how the truth comes out, right? So you get Jacqueline and Mia. Jacqueline comes over to Mia's house. They're just basically talking about the weird dynamic between her, G, and Mia. Well, Jacqueline, G, and Mia. G does have this weird, like, I always want to be in the loop type of, like, weird just thing about him. Like when Jacqueline comes around, he always just wants to get a hug from her, and Jacqueline's just more like, even when Jacqueline came in the house, she acknowledged G. Hey G, what's up? She hugged Mia, but G's just standing there salivating, waiting for a hug, and he's like had to like go in and grab Jacqueline for a hug. He's just kind of like a creepy guy, and I think he didn't come across like that last season. And this season he's coming across as like this old creep. Nothing against his age, but he's just coming across as this creepy guy. Like, no matter if he's young or he's just coming across as this old creepy man. And so they're all at Mia's house and they're talking, and Jacqueline starts going on and on about, oh, I need me a man, I need me a gentleman, because G is pouring them wine. He's pouring them this wine that's called like gentleman's wine or something like that. And Mia's like, yeah, because you need a gentleman of your own because they all think you want G. And Jacqueline's like, what? So Mia's running down how, Karen, Robin, Giselle, they all think their dynamic is weird, and, what's going on with them, between them, blah, blah, blah. And Jacqueline's like, look, there's nothing going on with us. Mia's my best friend. G looked out and bought me a Porsche, but at the same time, Jacqueline's saying she's a single mother. She's trying to get back on her feet and just get her life together after a divorce, and she has good friends like Mia and G to buy her a car and help her, get on her way. Mia's kind of just in the background, like making little weird faces and stuff like that, but G, I forget what G was saying. Oh, and then it was like something weird where like they were all trying to sit down on a couch, and G is like, well, I really don't like the dynamic of how we're sitting down right now. And Mia's like, what do you mean? Like, and I guess he wanted Mia to be closer to him because Mia was all the way on the other end, Jacqueline was in the middle, and then G was on the other end. If you guys look at like Mia's social media, I don't always want to say like social media is like the, you know, you don't got to broadcast your life on social media, but as public figures, you kind of do. Just the dynamic between her and G is kind of weird. Like Mia and G, they don't kiss each other. They just seem very weird. Like it's almost given like, kind of like how Nene and Greg were. Like after a while, you knew they weren't really intimate like that. You knew that there was a couple cracks in the foundation, but they were just staying together for the kids and the lifestyle and the this and the that. And that's kind of what it seems like between Mia and G. Like there's just this weird dynamic to where like they're not really intimate with each other. Even just watching this season, you see that Mia is just not this well put together mother, housewife, businesswoman that she tried to portray herself to be. She still seems like she has this like unhinged, loose, wild side to her. And to be honest, I think she's kind of like over G a little bit. Especially in the romance department, they just see it's just something weird between them. They don't kiss, and if they don't kiss each other, they're just very weird with each other. I don't know. It just seems like, and to be honest, as much as Mia lies, it's like, this is your wife, G. Like, and the fact that you, as one thing to be a united front, but it's like, I think this G is just, they're all just, Mia and G, they're just weird. And maybe they're meant for each other because they're just weird and they're liars. And just like, even just how Mia came on the show, she said her and G met a certain way but then this season she said that they were messing around and they met in Miami and they messed around on the beach and this and that, but he was married the whole entire time. That's not what you said last season. You said he came to the club and that's how he was, you know, trying to court you and get to know you and kept trying to. So Mia's just a flat out liar. Mia's just a liar. So we get to Karen and Friends event. It's funny because Giselle looked really pretty in this episode too. But Giselle had on like a nice green dress. Her hair was down and curled. And she's walking into the venue and there's like a guy or a fan or somebody like, hey, Karen. And Giselle's like, I'm not Karen. I thought that was funny. So all the ladies get there. Wendy gets there last. But Candace goes with her mom. Giselle gets there first. You ever notice how Giselle is just so like boppy all the time? Like she's just so awkward. Like, and she waddles. Like she always just does this weird little like, hey. She's just so weird and just like awkward. Like Giselle is kind of like, just like awkward. I don't know. She always does this little thing where she's posting her Instagram reels and she always does this like this little stupid fake laugh. Like Giselle's just kind of corny to me. Pretty woman, but she's very corny. And then did you guys notice like a couple episodes ago? Like I look at the smallest things. But when she had the Sweet 16 for her twins and she's like hugging everybody and she just does this weird like, just walk straight, Giselle. Like, what are you doing? She just does this weird like, hey, like she does this like waddle, like she got like a short leg or something. I'm skipping a part. Giselle meets up with Ashley, Deborah, and the two other relevant friends. I don't even know what their names were. You guys notice how they film and show things just so out of sequence and out of context and just like out of order? Like they're talking. So I'm rambling. So they meet up. So it's Ashley, her friend Deborah. Giselle meets them. Surprised Robin didn't come. Robin probably couldn't make it because I don't see why. You know, they're butt buddies. And then Ashley has her two other friends. So they're all meeting up. They were all at the spring fling or whatever. So they're trying to catch Giselle up to Eddie. Happy Eddie is smiling and flirting. Then Deborah's trying to say that Chris was flirting with her. Chris was not flirting with you, eyebrows. He was not flirting with you, eyebrows. And the thing is, Deborah's not even an ugly woman. She's not. None of the women on the show are ugly. I don't want to attack their looks, but he wasn't flirting with you, baby. And Mia, low key, you trying to shade Deborah and y'all look alike. Y'all both got these strong ass eyebrows and like this strong. Anyway. So they're trying to catch Giselle up. Giselle's just drinking it up and soaking it up like as if it's gospel, like as if it's the truth. And Ashley's just like, I gotta tell Candace, like I just don't want it to get back to her. What's gonna get back to her? He did nothing. He did nothing. They're showing flashbacks of Chris at the bar playing on his phone. Deborah, I guess, is trying to get a drink, but at the same time, it's like it looks like she's kind of just looking for a moment. So you see like just little behind the scenes footage of Chris at the bar. Deborah's like, hi, how are you? He's like, oh, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm good. I'm Deborah. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm Chris. She's like, oh, my husband's name is Chris. And then Chris is like, yeah, guys with the name Chris usually have a lot in common, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I like that pink on you. It looks good. He's like, thank you. Bitch, you flirting with him. You're flirting with him. Like, I can see she's like, yeah, he was telling me I look good in my dress. He was complimenting me on my looks. Bitch, it seemed like you were flirting more with Chris than he was even paying you half any mind. He wasn't paying you any mind. You trying to like reel him in to get a moment. Like, you are looking for a moment. Like, he's not worried about you, Deborah. You're the one like talking to him and trying to get little things out of him. Everything Chris was saying was in response to Deborah. I mean, it still could be, you know, in response to something, can still have a flirtatious response, but it really wasn't. It was very like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Chris. She's complimenting Chris on his suit and everything. He's like, thank you so much. And then I think they started talking about something else that was irrelevant. But she's like, you know, he starts leaning in like, you know, doing one of these. He was on his phone. He was not worried about you. He was on his phone. And then they even showed like a clip where he like just walks off. Like, he's not even really like comprehending what's going on. So then Deborah's like, and then here comes Happy Eddie. And Giselle's like, who's Happy Eddie? Eddie. And she's like, Wendy's husband. And Giselle's just so tickled by that. He's like, he's coming over smiling. If you've seen the last, 3 seasons, 3 years now, Wendy has been on this show, including this one. It's been 3 years now. Eddie is just a happy guy. Like, Eddie is really just a happy guy. He seems like he's always just in good spirits. He seems like he's a fun dad. He seems like he's more like the level-headed one. Usually the men are, because, you know, the women are always engulfed in drama, so they usually go to their husbands, and their husbands try to, like, you know, calm them down and everything. But Eddie really does seem like he's just a happy guy. Like, there's not much that gets him, you know, upset. He doesn't even seem like a fighter. He doesn't seem like too much of a yeller. He doesn't try to come across as this like super tough guy, but he also is very masculine. Like, everything about him, you know, says like, I'm a masculine, confident guy. I'm married. I love my family. The pictures that Wendy posts online, Eddie is like, come on, y'all are reaching. Last year, y'all tried to say he got a woman pregnant. Like, you guys are reaching. Like, I don't know how true that is, but from what we see on the show, like, there's nothing questionable about Eddie's character. And I think that, Deborah, you should be ashamed of yourself, because you are trash for coming on here thinking you're going to get a moment. And it's funny because if you notice, a lot of these women that come on the show just being messy like this don't really last long. And I don't know if you guys really keep up with Atlanta and anything like that, but when Marlo came on the show, she was supposed to come on the show to kind of ruffle Nene's feathers and get Nene all upset because Nene and Marlo dated the same football player or something like that. So Phaedra, or I think Phaedra brought Marlo into the show. Phaedra brought Marlo into the show to kind of antagonize Nene. But what Marlo did was she befriended Nene, and you see how that has worked out for Marlo. Marlo has now been on the show for the last 12 years, I think. And she's been a friend of, but she's had more of a impact on the show than some of the peach holders have had in the last couple seasons. So, Deborah, you are going about being on the show in all the wrong ways, baby. Because everybody's going to look at you sideways. So we get to Karen's event, and Karen's doing a whole bunch of, even though I want to go to Karen's show, the show would just look like it still needed a little bit of work. But it still looked like a good time. Like, it looked a little more relaxed and a little more just casual, and it looked like they were in a bar, so there was food and drinks flowing and everything like that, as opposed to Robin and Giselle's live podcast show, whatever they were doing, the Reasonably Shady podcast. So let's just get to the juicy part. So all the ladies are sitting there, but you get Mia. Sorry, so Karen does like a little Q&A, and Mia stands up and says, what do you do when a friend runs their mouth and tells your business to a group of people that weren't supposed to know anything, or something like that? So Karen's just like, look, I'm sorry, Mia. Like, I'm working on it, but you're my girl. I'm sorry if you feel like I ran my mouth to Robin and Giselle about you sticking flashlights in private parts and stuff like that, but I'm sorry. So just Mia's basically like, look, if I tell you something, don't go running your mouth telling these two. If I tell you something in confidence or whatever, but it's like, bitch, you said it on camera. So like, it was going to come back around anyway. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And then and sometimes when they say things like that are super important, or that could move a storyline, producers tell them like, hey, bring this topic up again, or hey, Karen, tell Giselle and Robin what Mia told you. Sometimes as cast, that's why they have producers, because as cast members, sometimes they might just be in front of the camera just talking about any old thing, but producers try to help move a storyline or focus on certain topics. But it's also up to you to be a good, you know, cast member and be a good reality star, know how to carry these storylines and deliver certain messages to, you know, whatever. So that's that. And then you get Ashley sitting there, And Ashley's like, hey, I just want to introduce you guys as Candace. This is my friend Deborah. I don't think you guys met. And then Candace is looking at her like, who? And then Mia's like, yeah, that's the friend. And then so what is these women's name? So Candace is like, oh, that's the friend that Chris was supposedly grabbing and touching on. And Deborah's like, would you like to talk to me and have a side conversation? And Candace is like, no, ma'am. I don't. No, ma'am. No. I don't want to talk to no Sesame Street character. No, I don't. Everything you're saying is full of lies. And here you go. Here you get Ashley. Well, don't just be so dismissive of my friend. This is what you were doing in Miami to Jacqueline, Candace. Like, don't be so dismissive. Just hear her out. Hear her out. Like, clear the air with her. Clear what air with her? You guys are causing more issue than there is. Candace is like, look, I'm trying to live my life, make my music, get my master's degree and be happy with my man and maybe try to make a baby. And y'all bitches is coming over here talking about my husband's cheating and doing this and that. And my husband is like, don't know left from right when it comes to y'all talking about he was trying to flirt and cheat on me and be sneaky. Chris is like, wait, I was doing what? What are they talking about? Like, nobody was doing any of that. Like, Chris is like, I barely even spoke to half of these women here. Like, what are they even talking about? And I just think that it's just so nasty that Giselle's not even like given benefit of the doubt. You've known these people for years now. You've been cheated on plenty of times, Giselle. And it's like, why are you just so happy to just run with this storyline? And she's like, in her confessional, Deborah and Candace are going to be in the same room together. Like, this is going to be good. Something's going to pop off. And it's like, all these women are miserable. And it's like, wow, Giselle is good for reality TV. She needs a storyline. And I think the fact that producers just allow her to keep coming back every season and attacking marriages, it's whack, it's old. Even the fact that I think they need to pressure Giselle to date, even though she already is. Like, Giselle has no businesses. She has nothing going on with herself. She's not coming off of a divorce. Like, even when she came onto the show, it was like her storyline of I'm divorced or whatever. That wasn't even a fresh storyline. It was like she just was on the show just causing drama, which, I mean, we tune in for drama, but it's like, Giselle, you look ridiculous. Like, this is going to be your storyline every year, fighting and picking with people's marriages. And then when they blow up on you, you act like everybody owes you an apology when things wouldn't even have gone left if you would have just shut your mouth and been a friend. Same thing with Wendy last year. It was like, you and Robin attacked her, said she's acting different, saying she's insecure. Eddie might have cheated on her. Is this why you're acting all different? This is why you went and got surgeries and X, Y, and Z, Wendy, because Eddie, we these Eddie rumors. But when Wendy blows up on y'all ass, now Wendy owes you an apology. Get the hell out of here. And did you guys see how ridiculous Giselle was on Watch What Happens Live like a week or two ago with her and Robin? Well, we're not responsible for what fans think, and yeah, you are, because you come on the show acting ass. So people are saying that you guys are colors. What else? What the hell were they saying besides the colors thing? It was just basically saying that they are. Oh no, they were they're just being hypocrites by not really saying that Mia's wrong. And Giselle's like, well, look, I just don't like Wendy. So Wendy could have got attacked right there in Miami. It could have been worse than a drink and a purse throw, and you guys still would have just been riding with Mia. Come on now, you guys are too old for this. Like, and you guys are all mothers. Like, nobody goes on trips to get attacked. And at the end of the day, you guys are all mothers and wives. Imagine coming home from a vacation with a swollen eye or bruises, and you got to explain to your family, like, what happened? Oh, I got attacked. None of my friends or none of the girls stood up for me or defended me. They let me sit there and get attacked because y'all don't like her. When do you draw the line and be like, look, that's just effed up, Mia. Like, we don't do that in this circle. Like, we don't do any of that. Like, that's messed up. But Andy asked Giselle and Watch What Happens Live, like, do you think you could ever make amends with Wendy and just let things go? And she was like, Giselle just got caught up in her words. She's like, yeah, of course I tried, but yes, I will make up with Wendy. Like, I'm not stuttering. This is literally how Giselle was responding to Andy's question. She's like, yes, I tried to make up with Wendy and I don't have a problem with Wendy. The issue is she's not talking to me. And then she caught herself and she's like, what am I even saying? What am I even saying? No, there's no making amends with Wendy. No, I don't like her. So no, there's no making peace with her. And they all just kind of like laugh. And my thing is like, Andy, like, call her. Like, why are you not making peace with her? Like, at the end of the day, when do you want to move on? Like, at the end of the day, you guys, for the most part, did start with Wendy. Like, at the beginning of the season, y'all were all at Wendy's house last year. So why is it now when Wendy calls your asses out, and then even now she's starting season 6 trying to clear the air and just smooth things out, Now y'all all mad at Wendy and everybody owes you an apology and this and that. Get out of here. They are whack. They are so whack. Robin can't answer when the wedding question is because they're never going to get married. They're just so lame. Robin and Giselle, y'all are lame. Robin, I was kind of feeling you in the beginning of the season, but you just are lame. Like even now, this season, you can tell she's still kind of like keeping her distance with Wendy, but at the same time, because they did have a talk and kind of clear the air a little bit, she's trying not to be a total bitch to her like she has been doing this entire season. But Robin is still kind of like, I'm only friends with you as much as Giselle is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, because that's just how Robin rolls. Robin has no spine of her own, and Robin can't do anything of her own. She can't think of her own. You know, she probably calls that's why she's probably late every day. She probably calls Giselle and says, Giselle, I know we're supposed to be filming a scene together, but what outfit should I put on, this one or that one? Like, and Giselle tells her that one, and put your hair this way, and dye it red today, and then dye the show is just all over the place. Robin's hair is red, blonde, red, blonde, red, blonde. Like, when are they filming the show and like putting it together as one? But I'm rambling, you guys. I just wanted to come on here and talk about how ridiculous Deborah looks. And she looks a mess. Literally and figuratively, you look a mess, Deborah, on here trying to like, come on. Like, you guys are all married women trying to like attack Candace's marriage. And Candace said in the interview, like, you just can't be happily married on the show. Like, they're going to try to nitpick with every little thing. And it's like, to be honest, Robin has the most cracks in her relationship, but you don't see Giselle saying anything about that. Sips tea. And wasn't there something about Robin, Juan following a bunch of booty models and liking a bunch of pictures in DMs like a season or two ago? Giselle, you've been quiet about that. Anything that has solid proof and evidence, y'all don't want to bring to the show and y'all don't want to talk about it. Giselle needs a storyline. She really does. Giselle needs a storyline. She needs to either date, she needs to open a business, she needs to do something that's just progressively gonna like make you want to tune in, because Giselle, you are lame. Giselle is lame, and Robin, you are like tailing right behind her. So let me know what you guys think. Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't even know what episode this is. I think it's episode 12. Deborah, you look a mess. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. I'll talk to you in the next video.